Welcome as we continue our study of Colossians in chapter 2, verse 11. In whom also you were circumcised with a circumcision not made by hands, in the putting off of the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of Christ. So we have circumcision here 3 times, so we're going to look at that first. We are going to look at the verb form really to get all 3. And it's peritino, and it comes from peri, which is around, and then tomateros, which means to cut. So to cut around. And really, what is circumcision? What's the purpose of circumcision? And it's really to cut away anything that's unclean. And so circumcision is used in 2 ways in the Bible. The first is the literal cutting away of the unclean flesh, and then, or the foreskin, and then also spiritual circumcision. And so in this instance, it is spiritual circumcision, and it's still it's cutting away unclean flesh, but that flesh is the body that we're in now. And we see that in this verse. It says in the putting off of the body of the sins of the flesh. So effectively, through the death and resurrection of Christ, God is separating us from the sins of our flesh, or the unclean part. And that is a circumcision. That's what he's referring to here. And that's why it's called the circumcision of Christ, because through his death and resurrection, we are separated from our sin. And the source of that sin is our flesh. So we've seen sin before, and that is it's hamartia, and it means to miss the mark. The only other new word that we have in here is not made with the hands, which is poetos, which is actually a few words put together, and it translates not made with the hands. But we don't need to get into each one of those for the purpose of this. And you can see that, I don't know if that looks familiar at all, but this is where we get the word chiropractor. So it's an adjustment with the hands. So the death of Christ, our body dies with him, or the old us, I should say, dies with him. And the new us is resurrected with him. And that's just really what we're going to get into the coming verses. So this is the first part of that.